Alright. Hey, what's up guys? Chelsea, welcome back to Fate Grand Order, Interstellar Mountainous City of Olympus. Last time... God, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start with last time. We, Musashi sacrificed herself to take out Chaos, who appeared after Zeus was destroyed. And it seems like she'll never be able to be like canonically, obviously, because gameplay wise, you'd still have her as a servant if you had her, but like canonically, like story wise, she's unsummonable. She'll never be able to be summoned into proper human history again. Then we fought Canis and Wodyme for control of the tree. It turned out Wodyme put Atlas, the Titan, inside the Tree of Emptiness to prevent the foreign gods' advent. Because he wanted to turn all of humanity into gods. Which still sounds insane, but according to Da Vinci, it was doable with the energy readings she was getting. So I was okay, I guess. And then BERYL, the little fucker, was like, hey, yeah, so if I just raise my voice a little bit, and yeah, hey, I'm here. Yeah, the Fae people are gonna try and kill me. So, yo. And somehow, some fucking way, Morgan. Because again, I do know that about LB6. I know most of the characters that appear in LB6. I don't know anything about LB6's story, but I do know pretty much all the characters that are in LB6, as well as, well, I don't know, but I have a guess as to what the deal with the Tamlins are, but I'm not 100% certain on that. So I'm not gonna say it because I'm not certain. Yeah, so but yeah, so somehow, some way, Morgan was able to affect other lost belts, which I mean makes sense, assuming the beam we still, because Mash said, is that Rongominiad, right? If it was, it makes sense, because it is a holy lance that was able to turn Artoria into a pseudo goddess just by her holding onto it for a few hundred years. So it makes sense that Rongominiad would be able to punch through these storm walls and affect other lost belts, I guess. Plus, it makes sense that in a timeline where Artoria didn't become King Arthur and get her hands on, Rongominiad, that I guess it would make sense that someone would get a hold of it. And why not Morgan, right? But I don't know. But even with that said, it's still kind of crazy how she's able to do that. Even with what I said about Rongominiad kind of making sense as to how it was able to affect other lost spells, is still impressive, because the only other people who can do that are Kuyanskia and actually just her, right? Because didn't the priest Rasputin, didn't he say that they couldn't just jump between lost belts that easily, that they had to get like permission? They needed, oh yeah, Canis could do it too because of her Poseidon authority. But yeah, didn't the disciples need help doing it? Or is the only, yeah, so It's interesting. And Stormborder now can punch through. True. But that's... But doesn't the Stormborder... didn't they say the Stormborder only works in Olympus, Atlantis, because of the Magicals in the air? So like they would have to go back to you doing the no, not Magicals, sorry. I was watching Reincarnated as a Slime. The mana in the air, like the mana concentration because of it being Age of Gods level. Plus the Clarinomias, so once they leave Atlantis, Olympus, Lost Belt, they won't be able to just punch through anymore? Or am I crazy? I thought they said that it was only possible here, but maybe not. Because that was what was holding the Stormborder to be what it is. But I don't know. Oh no, I think they said it wouldn't be possible once proper human history was restored. Right? But like with the bleached earth and whatnot, it is? Maybe? I don't remember. But anyway, hey, Murdaki Gogeta Heavy 6. Yeah. Okay. I think I was a little bit wrong at first. I think it's just once proper human history is restored, it won't be doable. Not that's just here in LB5. Yeah. Anyway, I'm quit yapping. Like I put in chat a little bit before starting. I have limited time, which is why I started 10 minutes early. So yeah, we'll get on into it. Section 24, Advent. And yeah, we're probably not gonna deal out any sort of justice to BERYL. He'll probably get away. But also something I forgot to mention. Where the hell was Kay? I get she was busy fighting Limbo, but did Canis not see what was going on with the beam coming from the sky and BERYL sneaking up on? Oh, I guess we're gonna see what she was busy doing. Okay, never mind. I guess we're gonna see that.
Nah, come on. Once I've made mincemeat of you in the ground you're gonna land on, this will all be over.
Gah! How? How can I not defend against these pitiful techniques of yours? I see it's not only Poseidon protecting you. That lightning, that gold. What? Impudent short-sighted whelp. How dare you hide your true strength?
Shut up and just freaking die. Damn it, why'd you have to take so long? Now I'm gonna miss their whole bet. Huh?
She just realized what... Oh boy.
What the hell's going on? Is that the foreign god getting in the way again?
No. No, not quite. Why, no. No, it most certainly is not. I see. Well done, BERYL Gut. I always knew you were a traitorous wretch, but I never dreamed you could be such a snake. Ha ha ha! Good. Well then, I believe it is time I made my exit. Olympus is all but finished now, and so my fun and games must come to an end. Well, this is unfortunately means the perfected foreign god's advent will have to wait. My true self should be able to resolve matters soon enough should he so decide. So in the meantime, I think I shall disappear that I may focus on preparing a new picture of the hell to unleash.
Oh.
Damn. Sick bastard just cut his own head off. Ah, screw that. Damn it, you better still be alive.
Yeah, maybe she'll be able to save him? No, probably not. Okay, never mind.
Oh, come on, Cash, really? Shouldn't a superhuman god be able to heal up from a little cut like that? Nah, well, at least I made my job easy. All that's left now is to find a body bag and a curse-sized hole in the ground. That's more like it. Man, it feels so much better without that uptight blonde prick around.
Oh, it's meant to be read like gut? Oh, okay.
You guys think so too, right? Hey, Ritsuka, feel better now that I got rid of that thorn in your side for you?
Not really. Why did you do that, Beryl? I thought you guys were friends.
Huh? What, you already know who I am? Well, shucks, I think I'm gonna blush. Nice to have another dutiful Kohai around. Can't say I care for the way you're glaring at me, though. Wait, you don't have a problem with me, do you? What, really?
Come on, guys, you don't want to do this. You're obviously hanging by a thread. Yeah, I guess.
Hell, you still haven't even caught your breath from your fight with old Kirsch there.
So if you don't stop glaring at me like that when you're all weakened and vulnerable, you're gonna take advantage?
I won't be able to resist killing you all too. No matter how much I love my Kohai.
You're a sick puppy, huh?
Just kidding. Even I'm not that stupid. That servant of yours rocking the black trench is the kind of guy to save his strength right up till the end, right? I can tell. So since it's clear we'd end up taking each other out in a fight, how about we just have a nice friendly chat instead?
Sure, buddy. Why not?
Right, Mash? You know what I'm talking about, don't ya? You know that Beryl Guts' stand-up guy who's always willing to hash things out, right?
Yes, well, statistically speaking, your advice was... No, even if your advice was statistically helpful, I was never able to understand why you acted the way you did at Chaldea.
Is that so? Oh, damn, girl. I must have earned your ire or something fierce, huh? No, but don't get me wrong, Mash. I'm thrilled to see this new side of you.
Step in front of Mash without saying anything. Don't touch my eggplant.
No, as I live and breathe, a real knight in shining armor in the flesh. Now that's a model master for you. I really appreciate you stepping out of your own accord like this, you know? Not only is your bravery real inspiring,
it makes it easier to kill us.
You just made it much easier to go for your throat.
Castaria! Candace is like, nah. Ain't no way, bruh.
Hey, isn't that your pretentious-ass cloak on the floor? What's going on? The hell's going on here? Shit, you're bleeding like crazy. Hang in there, damn it. Don't you dare pass out. I still got a ton of stuff I gotta pay you back for. You can't die on me before I get the chance. Didn't you say you were gonna make every last one of those
Piece of shit gods obsolete?
Come on, just because the Olympian gods are done for doesn't mean you can rest on your laurels. You still gotta do something about the big bad foreign god, remember? Don't you dare go cold on me now. Well, damn, that was the perfect chance, and now the mood's gone to shit.
Hell, I'm almost tearing up myself.
Come on, Canis, take it easy. Gashari is dead, no sense dwelling on the past, yeah? You know, it's not like you and I are total strangers.
Hell, you're the one who brought me here from Britain. She's not gonna become your servant, at least I hope.
So how about you jump ship and become my servant? A woman like you'd be right at home in the British Lost Belt. Well, stick with me and there might even be a domain or two in it for you in the future.
Oh.
Right, I tend to forget. Canis doesn't like... Yeah.
A woman like me?
It'd be one thing if the Chaldeans had killed him.
Kishtaria himself said he and Ritsuka were on equal ground. But this wound clearly came from an ambush. And that sort of thing ain't Ritsuka's style. You did this to him, didn't you, BERYL?
So it's gonna be like that, huh? Oh. That's enough. The battle for control of this tree of emptiness is over and Chaldea has won. Surely there's nothing to gain from further infighting, is there, BERYL? Canis? Hi, Rasputin. Good day, everyone. I believe the last time we met was back on the Russian tundra, wasn't it? In my capacity as another of the foreign god's disciples, permit me to apologize on Limbo's behalf for his rudeness. His very nature makes him incapable of not toying with the minds of others, you see. It was, I assure you, nothing personal. He treats everyone this way.
Who asked you, Rasputin? Besides, I don't recall ever signing up for your side. I'm Kishtaria Wodam's servant. That's it. Now that he's shown his true colors, that makes me an enemy of the foreign god, too.
I see. I'm sorry to hear that. And what of you, BERYL? We now know that Kishtaria, the leader of the Cryptors, was a traitor, but we also know you killed him. Can I assume this means you remain on our side?
Hell yeah, you can. Like I always say, if you can't beat 'em, join 'em. I don't give two shits about the future of humanity. All I want is to have a good time. I didn't come back to life so I could become the king of Earth or anything. I'll go along with whatever you say.
Last time we met, I was running 90 kilometers per hour and shooting at you with a rocket launcher. Good times, true. True.
But then again, I can't help but wonder if this foreign god guy is really all that strong. Kishtaria saw to it that they couldn't use Magellan here. And that woman back in Britain sucked
Seyford's insides dry. Okay.
So without a vessel for the foreign god to come down into, well, what happens next?
I mean, there's still David's domain. South America. Oh, actually, no, right. Isn't the drama around LB7 that it's not actually South America? It's Mexico, which is North America? Or something? Wasn't that the whole drama with it? That apparently, like, Nasu promised to be a South American based story chapter, but it was ended up being North America. I feel like I saw something about that.
So without a vessel for the foreign god to come down into, well, what happens next? It seems to me like the strongest one on this planet right now has gotta be the king from my lost belt.
So BERYL's not siding with the foreign god either.
I see you've done your homework. Precisely the sort of thinking I'd expect from a purebred hunting dog like yourself. I take it that means the British lost belt is now officially opposing us then, BERYL. Since you appear to have sworn loyalty to their king, can I assume you're also speaking for Britain?
Hell yeah, assume away. The old lady outright told me I could do whatever I liked on her behalf. Besides, that Rongominiad we just saw was a special spell Her Majesty whipped up just for the foreign god.
Oh, okay, so that wasn't like Rongominiad, the spear, it was a spell. I guess that's more Morgan's speed. That makes sense.
We were always planning on taking Olympus out, no matter what Kishtaria got up to.
Understood. The foreign god only saved Kishtaria from death,
thus giving the foreign god control over his continued existence. And as Kishtaria was the one who saved your lives, the foreign god has placed no such restrictions on you. You are therefore free to live out the remainder of your days on this dying planet as you choose. As an enemy of the foreign god, that is.
Yeah, just because the foreign god can't snap its fingers and kill you of its own accord, it doesn't mean the other disciples couldn't just kill you physically.
Kuyanskia, warp me over to Britain right now. I don't know why, but I'm getting some serious chills down my spine. I gotta get out of here before it's too late.
Well now, I was wondering when I get to make my entrance. How anticlimactic. But very well, Lord BERYL. If nothing else, you do have an impressive nose for danger.
I mean, I guess she helped us, so I guess it's not really against the rules of her contract with the foreign god to help enemies of it. So I guess she's technically not doing anything wrong by helping him.
Kuyanskia, you're going to take him away from here? Why, yes, I am. I offer a great many services. One of them includes taking a single cryptor on a single trip to the lost belt of their choice. Alright, until the next time, Ritsuka at Chaldea. We at NF Services look forward to your future patronage. Assuming you make it out if you're alive, that is.
That will be fine. Probably. It's probably fine.
So Kuyanskia has gone over to that side as well, Well, I suppose it was time.
Or maybe she's just breaking the contract because BERYL gave her what she needed to maybe be stronger than the foreign god? Maybe?
She's the same class as our god, after all.
Okay, so the foreign god is straight up a beast. Unless this is a mistranslation, right? Maybe he means she's just on the same level as the foreign god. But for right now, I'm gonna take this at face value and assume the foreign god is a beast.
If she'd stayed, it would have only been a matter of time until they were at each other's throats. Alright, you're up, Muramasa. Go on and swing that katana of yours.
Or assassinal form. Yeah, true. But I'm assuming it, seeing as how we fought her earlier, and it was, I'm assuming it means beast. I would think. I mean, I guess it could be a foreigner too, but I'm erring on the. Plus, it would make sense, right, if the final big bad was a beast. Seeing as how the big bad of part 1 was a beast, like it would make sense.
This very moment is what the foreign god chose you for.
Oh. Did he just cut Atlas in half? I can't believe it. Atlas's body is... I suppose I should assume the internal fires have left the tree of emptiness in a permanent state of incompletion. Never mind that now. The real problem is that something is about to manifest inside Atlas's
Bisected spirit origin. the sound of that. I mean, this section was called Advent. I can't believe how intense this ominous aura is.
I'm detecting a powerful magical reactor core inside a signal inside the Tree of Emptiness. I can't measure its magical energy levels with my current equipment. But wait. The spirit origin pattern. Beast! Fofo! As foreseen and categorized by Trismegistus, this looks to be the final horn. The final beast crown of the 7 evils of humanity. Beast 7.
Huh. Language, intellect, sharing, plane, mission, generating. Come in. Do you read me? Commencing. Advent. Oh! I knew Olga Marie existed in JP already. I assumed she was a summer. Like, I thought she was like gonna be like Space Ereshkigal and be a joke servant. Or not really joke, but you know what I mean. I thought she was gonna be okay. Weirdly, this wasn't spoiled for me because again, she was an anniversary thing, so I assumed she was just a summer beast, like. I remember seeing her C on the main menu banner thingy back when we just started out, just like Katic. I don't know. I guess I didn't pay attention really to it, but that was not on my. You know, I'm glad I'm glad I didn't put two and two together. I guess because I legitimately thought I was not gonna see her until next year when I when I pulled for her at anniversary, right? Because she was the anniversary servant, I'm pretty sure, right? For year 10. I think maybe when I saw her CE, maybe I thought she was gonna be like an event servant or something, kind of like you know, Okukama or something. I think that's what I was thinking in my head. But, or like, you know, Seraphix, Kiara, you know, so something along those lines. I didn't think she was gonna be the big bad of part 2. Now I'm thinking, because okay, so early on, right, it was told to us that Olga was a talented mage, right? But for some reason she wasn't able, she just had zero ability to be a master. Is this why? Maybe? Because of Beast... what? Huh? I know that wouldn't really make sense. I don't know. Okay, well, alright then. But you know what though? This makes sense now why the foreign god knew to take out Chaldea first. Because it was literally someone who knew how dangerous Chaldea could be. Because, yeah, weren't they questioning that? Like, how did it know? But that, okay, that actually, in hindsight, that all makes sense. At long last, it's finally my turn. Thank you for waiting so patiently, my loyal disciples. And well done preparing a vessel for me to use from this empty planet. I am pleased with the work you've done, even if it did take longer than expected. So this is Earth, is it? I was curious what it was like after hearing it gave my kin so much trouble. But it doesn't look all that impressive. Just look how tiny it is. I could conquer the whole planet in less than a year. They're all like, are we, do we not recognize her? Like, hello? She's so tiny. Maybe she's too far away for us to realize who she is. Why do I feel some faint brainwaves being directed at me? Are these some of the planet's indigenous life forms? They're so weak, I guess they must be. All that aside, why am I not sensing any respect directed at me? Wait, what is this pathetic body? My vessel is supposed to be made from a tree of emptiness, right? So why is this one so small? Couldn't tell ya. Master, I'm having a very difficult time following what's going on here, but I think the being floating above us right now is both a beast that manifested inside the tree of emptiness and the foreign god themselves. But what I don't understand is... I know, I'd recognize that face anywhere. Okay, given what it's saying, apparently it doesn't have Olga's memories? So I guess my theory as to why it knew to take out Chaldea was wrong. Or maybe it had a vague sense, like a vague recollection, but like not full memories. Well, no matter. Disciple status report. Given what happened with Kirshtaria, it seems like things did not go entirely as planned. I'm afraid Seyfried's flames set Magellan ablaze before it could become your body. While your spirit origin is unaffected, I suspect you may be unable to make full use of your authority as a result. So it would seem that my body still has yet to fully enclose. Well, that's alright. It will give me something to look forward to.
I'm sure I can find something here that will make up for my deficiencies.
In fact, I see a meal before me now that should do the trick nicely.
Usually a single lost belt wouldn't be nearly enough to satisfy my cravings. But since I only just acquired this body, it should make for a well-balanced wake-up snack. However, seeing these insects buzzing around my appetizer is putting me right off my appetite. Are those the Chaldean stragglers? Why haven't you killed them?
They certainly don't look like they're at all capable of giving
My disciples any trouble. For that matter, why don't they fear me?
I thought those of this planet were obliged to hold gods in reverence.
'Cause you're using the face of someone we know,
Who we, mourned but also found mildly pathetic.
Humph. Yes, I know. It would be all too easy to grind them to dust beneath my heel, but I wish to sate my curiosity for now. Tell me, Ritsuka, why do you not fear me?
We've killed other beasts before. Well, yeah, killed other beasts before. And again, your face is kind of,
Aren't humans like you supposed to bow your heads, beg for enlightenment, and submit to the every whim of the great and powerful beings?
No. Well, I mean, what the heck are you doing, Olga Marie?
Huh?
What is this earthling talking about? What is a director? Looks like you've gone mad with terror. No! No! Not quite. You in fact have her face.
Oh, looks like you've gone mad with terror. Well, then I'll be kind and explain.
I am a god who has descended upon this world from the void.
I have come to right this planet's wrongs and eradicate its evil once and for all.
As the ultimate ruler, I'll make Earth into a single nation and personally govern every last one of its people. What people? You wiped the Earth clean! And apparently you plan to eat the Lost Belts, so you literally won't have any subjects. Unless you plan to give birth to a new human race yourself. Like,
Yes, I am the sovereign of Earth.
you, Olga Marie. Did she just claim to be Earth's president or something? Birth of a new Prezi-King? Now I really don't understand. First she declares she isn't Olga Marie, then she claims she is. Just try to stay calm, Mash.
That's more like it.
Sounds like you finally understand my godhood. Sure, yeah.
I can sense brainwaves of fear and confusion. Now the time has come for me to wipe this planet clean of everything that once existed here. The human race, the lost belts, you lot, my disciples using silly heroic spirits for their vessels. Now that I have a physical body, I have no more need for any of you.
Now get out of my sight, beg for mercy, and repent for your misdeeds, for even my infinite patience has finally reached its limit. That wasn't very infinite then. That was like 5 minutes.
The gravitational field? It's sucking up everything that isn't nailed down. Damn, and it's even bigger than the Tree of Emptiness. If it keeps going like this, there really won't be anything left.
Indeed, including us. Is this really what you want, Rasputin? Because it seems this god of yours has no qualms about ease erasing even her own disciples.
I have a feeling they're okay with that.
If this is what my god wants, then so be it. I only wish I could have been more used to...
If we use that
No. But yeah, we're out of command spells, Therodel.
If we use that black light on her, we could. Oh, but both the gun and its ammunition are. Yes, I'm sorry, we can't use the black barrel anymore. Besides, even if we could, I don't know if it would be enough to defeat the foreign god. At this rate, it's going to suck up not just all of Olympus, but this entire lost belt. So I'm finally getting to see a beast in person.
Was he not there when we fought Koyanskia? But I guess she was hidden in shadows, right? So... I guess not really. Yeah, I was being... That was more of a rhetorical question. Directed at, I guess, him, the game. But... yeah, I guess Koyanskia was hidden, was like shadowed, so we weren't actually seeing her, really, I guess. I guess.
I don't need to use my noble phantasm to tell that humanity simply has no hope of defeating her. The sheer magnitude of her spirit origin alone vastly eclipses anything humanity could throw at her. There are simply no conditions that would allow for a victory. Mesopotamia, Solomon's Temple of Time. Chaldea was only able to prevail in those situations because we were an unknown factor.
But we are very well known to her, to this one.
Indeed, our very existence was such an exception to the rule that we had an almost excessive advantage in the environments where Beast 1 and 2 appeared.
I like how he just forgets about... Because, like, I get that we're the only ones who kind of remember Seraphix, so I don't blame him for not remembering Kiara. And even then, our remembrance of it is iffy. Like, we sometimes remember, sometimes don't. But he should remember Oku. Like, he should know we beat one of the Beast 3s. But I guess to be fair, these are the only technically mainline Beast fights, I guess. Even though, well, I mean, Oku is also mainline technically, but I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter.
We had an almost excessive advantage in the environments where Beast 1 and 2 appeared. Therefore, no matter how outmatched we may have been, it was always possible for us to alter our fate. This beast is different. She's had Chaldea in her sights since well before we were even aware of her existence. We have therefore lost the one advantage we had in those other fights. Unfortunately, even if the Stormborder were to arrive now, that beast would simply wipe them all out.
Beast 3 didn't mature enough for his tastes, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
It's elementary, my dear Leonardo. There's simply nothing we can do.
I wish you didn't have to say this, especially after you entrusted me to see this mission through, but...
I'm sorry, Miss Ritsuka. I'm afraid there is no possible way for us to turn things around.
Well, how fatalistic of you.
Humph.
So you're not even going to try to fight back Earthlings? No, I guess.
Wait, how silly of me. Of course you can't fight back. I don't know why I ever thought you could. I suppose it only makes sense. There is no version of humanity in this universe that's capable of surpassing me. All that aside, you Earthlings truly are pathetic, aren't you? You're so tiny, so powerless,
It's like looking through a microscope at bacteria in a petri dish. Huh? What was that? Did Muramasa just slice her in half? Oh. Oh boy. That's not good. That's real not good. Muramasa? Question mark? Or maybe Romulus wasn't as disappeared as he made himself seem? Or maybe because her body wasn't complete, she's splitting open at the seams? I'm sorry, Miss Ritsuka. I'm afraid there's no possible way for us to turn things around. Come now, it's not like you to be so rash. Or are your powers of deduction simply nullified when you attempt to apply them to an alien being? Oh. I guess he's not as dead as BERYL thought he was. Hey, Wodime! Huh? Kashtaria? Oh. Kashtaria, Wodime. I didn't realize you were still alive. We mages have magical crests. We don't go down quite so easily. Holmes, you just said there was no possible way for you to turn things around. Right? That all depends on how you look at it. For example, my victory would be my plan to slay the god succeeding, and my loss would be it failing. Now that Atlas's tree has been razed to the ground, and the foreign god has descended upon this world, my plan has ended in abject failure. It represents a complete and total loss for me. There is no hope of me turning things around now. But the same is not true for you. For you, loss would be dying, and victory would be living. So even if the foreign god has descended upon this world, and even if all you can do right now is run away, merely surviving is enough to ensure your victory. And since you haven't truly lost, you still have a chance to turn things around. So you're saying to tuck our tail between our legs and get the hell out of here, huh? That's your advice? I understand this is all a bit much coming from me, since I'm the one who invited the foreign god here in the first place. But oh well. Now then, I think it's time I played my last card. Rest assured, I won't let the foreign god get away with this. Even if it is ultimately fated to vanish once its tree of influence is gone, I will protect Olympus right to the end. After all, I promised Zeus I would. I'll make sure the foreign god goes away, although I can only do so temporarily. Now go. Get out of here. I'm afraid you'd only get in my way. Are you sure? I mean, he has a serious light still. So whatever that does, maybe that's his plan? Are you sure? I mean, you're obviously badly hurt. Don't worry. It's not as bad as it looks. I've still got plenty of fight left in me. It's a shame you and I weren't able to finish our duel, though. We'll just have to take a range check on that. At any rate, you've got much more work ahead of you than I do. I'm sorry about this, Ritsuka. I wish I didn't have to ask you to take on such an enormous responsibility again. It's okay. I haven't come this far just to lose now. There was a line early in Act 2 that I gravely misunderstood. Kashari Wodam, the prodigy, said to be the true successor to the Animaster legacy. I somehow interpreted it to mean that Wodam was supposed to marry into Animaster family and was engaged to Olga Marie. I was very confused by it never being acknowledged. Yeah. I didn't take it that way. I just assumed it was... He had so much raw potential, and that Morris Berry was like, yeah, you know, he's probably better suited to taking care of things than Olga. It's okay, I haven't come this far just to lose now. Mr. Holmes. Which is kind of weird, though, because Olga, in her own right, again, she had no, like, ability to be a master, which, yeah, I guess maybe harmed it a little bit. But we know she was a decent enough mage. But I guess Wodan was just so absurd that even her just being a decent mage just wasn't enough, I guess. Whenever someone like 10 times better on the staff, I guess.
Mr. Holmes. Very well. You have my word that I'll do everything in my power to give Chaldea a chance to turn things around. Good. I'm relieved to hear that. Alright then, this is goodbye. But before you go, Mash, let me give you one word of advice. I won't deny that as a Crypta, I considered you and Vitsika my most dangerous enemies, and tried to eliminate you accordingly. I did so because at the time, I firmly believed that to be what was right. But of course, humans are fundamentally incapable of making the right choice. So the least we can do is keep shamelessly moving toward those things we've chosen, right or wrong. I believe that's what it means to be human. We are nothing if not great at rationalizing our actions. Still, trust me when I tell you that there's no need to fight to assuage a guilty conscience, or to atone for past misdeeds. Don't forget the reason you left Chaldea to go on a journey was to get as much out of it as possible. I'm afraid the palace won't last much longer. We need to evacuate to the Great Shrine. Come now, quickly.
Right. Kushtaria. Thank you for everything you did for me at Chaldea. I wish we could have all talked a lot more.
He probably does too, Mash.
Are they gone, Canis?
What are you, stupid? Can't you see for your...
Nah, I don't think he can. I don't think he can. I think his bodily functions are starting to shut down.
Yeah, they're gone. They left your sorry ass behind, didn't even look back. So you don't gotta worry about them. Mess this bitch up.
Hell, I'll even let you lean on me.
Thank you. That'll be a big help. What about you, Father? Aren't you going to stop me? Not at all. Not unless the foreign god gives the order to eliminate you two. I'm only here to serve as a witness. Truth be told, it should be quite educational. No matter how powerful one may be, this planet still follows its own rules. This will be an excellent way for the foreign god to learn that lesson. In that case, don't mind if I do. Stars, cosmos, gods, animus, antrum, unbirth, animus, animosphere.
Wait, they got that wrong. It's supposed to be animosphere. What? Right? or is this an intentional changing of the spell? Maybe it's a different spell, so it changed a little bit.
There are yet the lights of stars in the void. Illuminate the earth, stay aloft the sky. and illustrate the coordinates of the heavens.
Okay, I think it's a different... Okay, I think it's a different spell. Maybe. Oh, I didn't read that last bit, damn it. Whoops. Oh, I mean, I read it in my head, but I didn't read it out loud. Okay, so whatever spell that was, whether it was the usual one or a different one, seemed to be effective. At least temporarily. Something one is not born with. Actually, if these sections are short, I might be able to finish Olympus today. We'll see. What I'm about to tell you took place in the spring when I was 15 years old. Back then I thought the future was bright and full of hope. Again, I've only got 2 hours left, so we'll see. I was born into an environment far better than most could hope for, with talents far greater than most could dream of. I knew I was destined for great things and that my purpose was to see them done. I'm going to create something beautiful. I'm going to create something wonderful. It was that ideal, that passion that made me apply myself to my studies day in and day out. And as a result, I ended up in this filthy dump. I found myself in a place that would never give rise to ideals or principles of any sort. Gah. The pain in my chest made me gasp. I couldn't move my limbs at all, but fortunately I was still able to treat the wound on my chest. Since I had been chosen to take over the family in lieu of my father, I possessed a magical crest that had been reinforced over 11 generations. It was designed to heal its bearer in the event they suffered an injury, even if they could not do so themselves. But now the crest was no longer functioning. Its mana was stagnant like anecdotes from the curses department. I knew I must have been poisoned with an anti-mage toxin, one designed to attack its target's nerves and blood. Enough time had passed for the toxin to work through my body. Both my crest and circuits were completely dead. I could no longer counteract the toxin myself. I would require assistance. The situation couldn't have been worse. I was trapped in enemy territory, and what strength I had was fading fast. The only hope I had of surviving was if my grandfather noticed something amiss and sent someone to rescue me. The problem was, I had no way of knowing if I would last that long.
Awake, awake, awake.
I don't want to judge, but you look crazy. Especially with more of my father's assassins looking for me. It felt as though the basement room's already pungent stench had suddenly gotten even worse. The boy was wearing a coat that someone else had clearly thrown away, and his hair hadn't been washed in years. He must have carried me here to where he lived when he found me crawling through that alley after the attempt on my life. I could only guess he thought he could make money off of me based on my clothes and appearance.
Still alive, alive.
Or maybe he just genuinely wanted to help you live. Maybe. Hearing the boy digging through a can full of garbage, I was unable to hide my disgust. I was deeply ashamed by the fact that such a pitiful creature had saved my life.
Treasure, treasure. Here, eat.
Ugh. The boy pressed a piece of completely stale, moldy bread up to my mouth. And forced me to eat it, wiping the crumbs off my face with his filthy sleeves. Whatever his intent, his efforts were far from helpful. My wound had closed, but my digestive system was only barely working. Rather than helping me recover my strength, eating barely edible food like this would only upset my stomach and make my condition worse.
It's good. Eat, eat.
But I lacked both the strength to resist and the energy to refuse, so I reluctantly opened my mouth and choked down the rock-hard bread. Once I managed to finish the food he forced upon me, the boy stepped away from my bed with a satisfied smile. He then moved to a corner of the room where he sat down cross-legged and continued his unsettling laugh. Though I was racked with both chest pain and shame about the predicament I found myself in, I realized there was nothing I could do, so I simply lay back and closed my eyes. This would all be over in a few hours anyway. My assailant was almost surely a mage, and so it would be trivial for them to track me down. Unless it was only a matter of time until they discovered this place and came to finish me off while I was still incapacitated. Any help that might be on its way would never get here in time. Not even a god could rescue me from this situation. Unless... But my assailant never showed, even after several days had passed. I think I must have spent about 10 days on that hard wooden bed without ever getting up. My body was still paralyzed, but by that point I must have gotten accustomed to my environment. Slowly but surely I took stock of my current situation.
Here, eat this too.
No thanks. Could I have some water instead? The fact that the shed was located under a bridge was the one silver lining. Thanks to that, we had access to potable water, even if it wasn't entirely clean. As long as it wasn't completely filthy, make you sick water. You know, at least there's that. You know, maybe some yeah, better than nothing. That's better. Say, how long have you been living here? How long have you been living here?
Huh? Never mind. Eat.
My best guess is the boy had been living here since he lost his guardian several years ago. This shed, his home, must have belonged to his guardian. Even now I do not know if his parents abandoned him, or whether he was an orphan from birth. He had very little in the way of language skills. This was hardly surprising given that he could not have had a single real conversation with an adult in all his life. What's your name? Sure, you must know that much.
Huh?
I was shocked. I couldn't believe there was a child in this day and age, in a modern city no less, who didn't even know what names were. No. More than that, I wondered how he'd managed to stay alive on his own all this time.
He's scary. Everyone's scary. Hide. Safe here. As the boy told me
this, he stroked the pendant he wore around his neck. Would I be? Even though I couldn't use magecraft at the time, I could still tell the boy that the boy was holding a mystic code of concealment. What's more, it was an antique of incredible value. A talisman that belonged to a sect of witches who have been living in England's deepest forests since even before the clock tower was founded. Now I see. That explains it. No wonder my assailants hadn't been able to find me. The room I'd been staying in was rendered almost completely invisible. You're right. That really is a treasure. I couldn't bring myself to ask the boy if his parents had left him the talisman, or if he had discovered it for himself somewhere. But at least I now understood his situation. It was the pendant that had enabled him to carry me here from the alley, without being seen. It must also have been what enabled him to safely borrow food from nearby stores. I couldn't make up my mind whether his situation was encouraging or depressing, yet he still chooses to eat out of trash, even if he has a way to get in and out of stores and steal food. Maybe he has a moral... no, if I was in his situation, I would use that ability pretty much all the time. I would avoid eating trash whenever I could. I was gonna say, maybe he has a moral compass against stealing unless he absolutely had to, but... yeah, maybe it's not that fail-proof, maybe. Yeah, maybe something like if you enter into the field of vision of someone, of the same person like multiple times, it doesn't work as well. So he has to wait until like there's new people on shift or just new workers in general, maybe. I couldn't make up my mind whether his situation was encouraging or depressing. It was thanks to that pendant that the boy had been able to survive on his own all this time. But it was also thanks to that pendant that he never needed to become involved with anyone else. In a very real sense, he had slipped through the cracks of society. So you're... unsure of what to say to him, I ended up saying nothing.
It's okay, it's okay. It's pretty, treasure, my treasure.
The boy gave me a big smile while gently tucking the pendant away, never grasping my true intentions. Even thinking back on it now, it still makes my chest ache. Several more days passed, and I made a number of new discoveries.
Always saw you. On bridge. Always, I saw.
That finally jogged my memory. This boy was the vagrant I'd seen when crossing the bridge.
Always saw you. Always.
I'll never understand what I must have seemed like to him. No, I'll go further. I should never presume to think I could understand. All I can say is that, as far as he was concerned, I was someone he'd seen crossing the bridge, and that was enough for him to help me. The boy may have been ignorant, but he wasn't stupid. In his own way, he understood the current situation too. For starters, he never once left the room. Oh, maybe that's why he was feeding us trash, because he knew he wouldn't go outside. So he ran out of good food. Some part of him understood that if he went outside, even with the pendant, there was a chance the people who attacked me would discover us. So for almost 2 weeks, he fed me using food he already had on hand.
Food.
What's wrong? Is there a problem?
No. No problem. Safe here, safe.
I see. Well, that's alright then. Even having grown accustomed to this environment, I was beyond exhausted. I still couldn't move my limbs, and my strength was no closer to returning. It was no surprise. The food the boy was giving me had no nutritional value whatsoever. And while his pendant may have kept us safe from my assailants, it also kept us hidden from my allies. I sighed loudly in despair and closed my eyes. As I slept, I dreamed of my body rotting away, like a decaying tree until I finally died. Oh, he went out.
Oh, wake up.
It was the first time the boy had ever woken me up of his own accord.
Food. Eat up, have lots.
I guess he took the risk. Is that? My voice all but broke in shameless excitement. In his hands, the boy was carrying a basket filled to the brim with bread. And not stale, moldy leftover bread like he'd been giving me so far. This was bread that had clearly been freshly baked that morning. This is amazing. Although it's all just bread, huh? Don't misunderstand, I do appreciate this. But if you were going out anyway, it would have been nice if you had gotten some other things too.
Here, food, eat.
I didn't realize until later why the boy had only stale bread on hand. It was because for the entirety of his life, he had never known any other sort of meal. I guess there must be a bakery, like, right nearby, so it's an easy source of stealing food to steal. I didn't understand that back then, since mine had been a life of luxury. Unfortunately, there was something else I failed to notice too. Something much, much more important. What? Okay. Very well. Don't mind if I do. Yes, this is much easier to eat. It's great.
He.
He'd been giving us all the food. He hasn't eaten once, has he? The boy suddenly fell into the bed as if he tripped on a rock, his arms clinging to the top near my pillow. He looked just like a child dozing off at their desk. Are you okay? The boy had always looked so malnourished that I hadn't even noticed how sunken his cheeks now were, the fresh bruises on his body. He'd been living alone all this time. Of course he wouldn't have enough food on hand to feed 2 people for over 2 weeks. The only reason he'd had any at all was because nobody had stopped him from taking it, thanks to the pendant. The food he'd had on hand was only enough for 1 person, only enough for him to survive on his own. And ever since he'd taken me in, he'd not so much as set foot outside. He knew that if he left with the pendant, this room would no longer be safe. So he left it by my bed, to keep me safe. Oh, so he got, like, beat when he tried to steal bread. In an instant, it was clear as day what he had done to bring me more food. He must have been accosted and beaten over and over. And since he had barely eaten a thing ever since he took me in, the malnourished child simply could not endure such punishment.
Treasure. Safe.
No, he couldn't have. No one would ever do something so absurd, so patently foolish. He may have been ignorant, but he was smart. He would never willingly choose to do this. Still on the bed, the boy looked at my face as I lay there as though he was gazing at the stars.
Pretty. Pretty.
No, hang in there. Please, you have to...
So pretty.
At the time, I wasn't overcome with grief, or shock, or anger. I was just done with my own stupidity. I was completely and utterly fed up with how foolish I had been to only look at the future, without seeing or relating to those I had previously treated as though they didn't exist. Create something beautiful, born to be a king, a chosen genius. What a joke. No, jokes are at least funny. I had no idea what I'd been talking about. I bragged endlessly about creating beautiful things, blindly trusting that simply calling them beautiful was enough. I had never once stopped to think about what it was that I considered beautiful. The boy's values hadn't changed. He had wasted his life on something so foolish, so stupid as saving me. I was from the upper crust, and he was from the bottom of the barrel. That much was clear from what we were each bound to contribute to the world in the years to come. But still, could I do what he did? Could I risk my life solely to keep a perfect stranger from starving? Could I risk my life without receiving anything in return, all for something I felt was beautiful? Why, of course. can do that. Is he gonna use Magecraft to try and heal him? I roused my body from its long, long slumber, very literally burning my soul for energy. I could feel my magical circuits, a gift I'd had all my life up to that point, physically crumble away. Then after paying that steep price, too little too late by then. Oh no, he knew it was too late, the boy was already completely dead. And there's no reviving someone completely dead, huh? I ate every roll the boy had brought me. That's right. If he could do it, then I had to as well. Now that he had shown me what was possible, it was incumbent upon me to pay him back. For what he lacked in property, he more than made up for in benevolence. I had to set my sights higher. I had to be stronger than ever. I shamelessly shoved the food into my mouth, silently willing my cells back to life. I had no time for regret or self-pity. No, I had a job to do. I was determined to see it done. This was an entirely new motivation. I certainly wasn't born with these convictions. If my life had continued as planned, this new ideal would never have even occurred to me. But now, I vowed to dedicate my life to it. To take all the many gifts I was given, gifts that boy couldn't even dream of, and use them to demonstrate the value of human life for as long as my own lasts. I guess Kirstaria's the GOAT, apparently. I can see why he wanted to make everyone godlike and in that sense basically equal, so that way no one would have to go through what the boy did. I guess I see what he was. Man, after taking the full force of Krishtaria Wodheim's serious light, the foreign god disappeared from this sector of space. Whether she was forced to retreat due to injury, or simply did so reflexively in response to the unexpected strike is still unclear. Regardless, her exit meant that Olympus would be spared immediate destruction, and left only the master and his servant behind in the palace. So much for that. In retrospect, I may have set my sights a bit too high.
What the hell are you smiling about, you idiot? You look like a kid who just got caught with his hand in a candy jar.
The servant knelt down beside their master, despite the insults that continued coming. Painfully aware of how he would never walk again now that the bottom half of his body had been obliterated. The master rested what remained of himself on the floor as it crumbled beneath them, and turned to look up at the sky.
Damn, that serious light was some serious shit. Ophelia's didn't do anything even close to that.
Well, this is how they were originally supposed to be used. Director Mossberry told me that in confidence. He said that if things ever looked truly bleak, I should use mine to save the world. No pressure, right? The master coughed dryly and brittly as he spoke. His cough sounded like the rattling of dead tree branches. There was no more sign of the melodic spring-like lilt that had previously been a fixture of his voice.
You don't say. And here I thought all of Chaldea's directors were weak and pathetic. Sounds like this Marsberry punk was a hell of a guy. Never would have guessed.
Yes, he was. I always did respect him, but he turned out to be far more capable than me. He may have been an avid scientist who only cared about his research, but he was also just as dangerous as you'd expect one of the Clock Tower's 12 lords to be. The Master laughed, acknowledging his defeat. There was no trace of regret in his voice. I must admit, I never would have guessed that you would cooperate so willingly with Chaldea. I was so shocked I spilled my tea when I heard you joined their side, just like that. I thought that would have taken considerably longer. Part of me was even a bit jealous. For a moment, I wondered if it meant you'd join anyone who defeated you.
Hey, it wasn't just like that.
And they never defeated me!
That was all because Poseidon messed up.
Then what convinced you?
I guess it was Chaldea's leader asking me about you. Said he wanted to know what Kashtaria Wodan was like now. Not as a mage, but as a person. I think that was the big reason I helped him out this long.
That doesn't sound very worth your while. You've been helping them all this time without anything in return.
Who said I didn't get anything out of it? In exchange, I had to
Adam tell me a shit ton of stories about you from your clock tower days.
Ha! Some born champion you turned out to be. Turns out you were nothing but an overly cautious, stubborn-as-hell coward. I guess both the Dioscuri and Ophelia were completely wrong about you all along.
The servant laughed joyously. It wasn't laughter meant to mock the ones who'd misunderstood the master. It was meant to commend him for keeping up such a perfect front for so long. The master looked up at his servant when he heard the laughter, squinting as if they were too bright to look upon. His eyesight had clouded over, and his breathing was already sharp and shallow.
Hey, what about you? You got anything you still want to say or something you still want to do? Go on, let me hear it. I'll at least do that much for you.
Something I still want to do, huh? And so, one small piece at a time, the master told his servant about his what-ifs. He explained how each cryptor was required to have an accomplishment worthy of overturning their death in order to bring them back to life. So the foreign god created environments, customized, subjective worlds. Worlds that would let the dead cryptors achieve such a thing. The master was then shifted to these worlds that might have been, yet were never meant to be. And from there, he and his fellow cryptor undertook a journey to restore humanity.
Damn, seriously? So what, you saved the world with them?
Only as part of a simulation. They were nothing compared to the real singularities. Caddock and I came to trust each other. Ophelia and I shared a laugh with each other. Akuta and I helped each other. BERYL and I disagreed with each other. Pepe must have saved me dozens of times. Aro may seem frivolous, but he has a strong sense of integrity. I really enjoyed getting to understand them better, getting to know their lives.
Interesting how Daybit's not mentioned and we didn't see Daybit's version in his flashback dream. Was Daybit able to do it by himself? Do you think? I feel like that's what this is implying, is Daybit didn't need Kashtaria.
But all the time the master spent with his teammates was no more than a dream, an illusion that was broken the moment his accomplishment was complete. Now the only one in this whole world who remembered their trying but important journeys was the master himself.
And you still treated him like that? What, is your heart made of stone or something?
What else could I do? If I told them, they wouldn't know what to make of it. So I just kept it all to myself, like any other dream.
More precisely, he locked the experiences away so he would never look at them again. to make sure that, regardless of what happened, they would never fade away.
Heh. Or heh.
A journey to restore humanity, huh? That may not be the best way to put it. But if it were at all possible, I really wanted to save the world with everyone in Team A. Together.
The Master truly loved his teammates, not as their leader, but as their friend. They're the same, the servant thought bitterly. This Master and Chaldea's Master were in the exact same position. As his breathing slows, one last thought flits across the Master's mind, like a shooting star in the night sky.
The hell were you thinking, you idiot? You didn't have to try so hard all by yourself.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Canis. But you're wrong. I was never all by myself. All humans are trying to do their best.
Shh. Like hell they are. Don't you try and pull that shit with me, Krishna.
Easy gone. He's gone. There is no answer. His soul is already gone. The servant turns towards the sky as though watching a bird fly away, never to return. Mistakes flood the servant's mind. Unquenchable hatred pounds the servant's heart. The servant wasn't about to reject the past or previous actions. The pride this heroic spirit held refused to sully the very nature of a hero. After all, the servant had been the one who laughed at the world of humans, the one who mocked and wreaked havoc upon it. That aspect would never change. The servant was well aware they were a villain who hated humans, despised gods, shunned what was right, and embraced what was wrong. But even so, in spite of all that...
Damn it. I'm the idiot.
Even if everything about him was evil, he remembered what he was meant to protect, even as he regretted failing to do so. He took up her spear of lightning and a golden bird took flight. His next actions would not be for his own glory, but to show that he was indeed the right heroic spirit for his master. Is Canis gonna try and hunt down the foreign god and get one good hit in? Or maybe she's gonna join up with us of her own accord? That'd be interesting if we got the Canis that was summoned by Kristaria and made a contract with them instead of the Chaldea Canis being a different summon. That'd be interesting, actually. One day at the beyond. Or no, maybe she's coming to attack us. Wait a minute. There being more than just a Saint Court at the end of the section means there's gonna be a battle. What was that light?
There you are. It's about time we finally got a decent connection. Right then, this is Geralt Music, commander and pilot of the Stormboarder. Do you read me, Ritsuka? You do read me, yes? I'm just going to assume you can and tell you what tell you all what I have to say. We've just finished making emergency repairs to the border, and are on our way to rendezvous with you at top speed. We're all caught up on your situation thanks to our video feed. We know the Tree of Emptiness was burned down from the inside, then a mysterious light came down from the sky and that the foreign god appeared from inside Atlas and claimed to be Olga Marie Animosphere. I'm still trying to make sense of it all, but never mind that for now. Which building are you all in right now? The Red Shrine? The Cronus Crown? The Cronus Crown is starting to fall apart quickly, So if you're there, hurry over to the Great Shrine immediately. We should be able to fly in and extract you from there. What's that? I'm asking the impossible? Never mind that, just get it done.
Not to worry, Director Gordolf. We've already managed to escape to the Great Shrine. Once we've made our way through the Machina corridor and reached the Hanging Gardens, we intend to try and make our way down to the city.
Oh, you can't. The Great Shrine's crumbling from the bottom up. You'll never make it down to the city. Quick, does anyone know where the most stable point in the shrine is? If it's stability you seek, I suggest you make your way to the altar. It's in the very middle of the shrine, and it was a holy zone used to receive Lord Zeus's revelations, right to the very end. It will not be quick to fall apart.
It should take us about 20 minutes to make it to Olympian airspace, so try to evacuate to the altar by then.
20 minutes? How? That's slow as hell!
Understood. Then we better be on our way before the Machina corridor starts to collapse as well.
Fo-fo!
I see the furry little breakfast thief is safe too. At any rate, hang in there until we come rescue you in the border. Administrative Advisor, Mash, Ritsuga, Macarios, Adele, Queen Europa. You would all better hang in there until Captain arrives. Which he will. Guaranteed.
Are we gonna try and get them into the border with us? 'Cause, I mean, I'm down to try. I don't think it'll work, but I'm down to try to bring them with us.
The sounds of destruction echo throughout Holy Vessel Ring, Cronus Crown, Great Orbital Shrine, Olympia Dodona. The cacophony of destruction reverberates throughout every district in Olympus. Both the crown and the shrine, once thought immutable and eternal, falling apart before everyone's eyes. Even the great crystal mountains had begun to fracture. Rubble rained down upon the city. People huddled on the ground, not even daring to look up at the sky. The heavens had begun to collapse. Olympus itself groaned horribly, straining at the seams. The death cries of an entire city echo across its districts. People huddled together in branch shrines, believing the destruction would stop once the gods heard their prayers. Ooh, yeah, about that. But to no avail. The rubble continued to fall, crushing some of the branch shrines in the districts surrounding them. Most people prayed fervently for the disaster to come to a swift end. They prayed and hoped and believed that the gods would protect them. They believed that their friends and family who had suffered painful deaths would soon come back to life. But in time, some people waiting for their loved ones' return began to realize the truth. No one would be revived. No one was protecting them. The Cronus Crown's collapse would continue unabated. There would be no revelations from the Great Orbital Shrine. And the gods would remain silent. For now, at long last, there were none left in Olympus. As time passed and more people realized that the events they were experiencing portended their lost belt's destruction, they fell silent one after another, despair and resignation shutting their mouths tight. It was the first pall of silence, devoid of even a single prayer that had fallen over Olympus in 10,000 years.
Well, to be fair, I don't really feel too bad for the Olympians outside of Adele and Macarios. Because, like, yeah, they only attacked us to live. But at the same time, unlike, like, with the Yaga and other people we met throughout the Lost Belts, you know, only Adele and Macarios were ever on our side. I mean, I guess they were nice to us until they knew we were the Chaldeans. But, yeah, you know, I don't feel too bad. Let's see, we still have 10 minutes to go.
The floor's fracturing. Everything's falling down to the city below. We can't use this route anymore either. Come on, let's head back to that intersection end. Look out! Fo-fo-fo!
Don't just watch your step. Keep an eye on what's above you, too. You guys are flesh and blood humans, so even a little falling debris could end up killing you.
Right, I'll be fine, but Senpai is... Oh, that goes for you too, Mash. With the Orton Axe's output so low right now, you're not much more durable than an ordinary human. So please be careful. Right, I will.
We'll lift the shield up above us. Cover our heads.
The situation seems dire. While we do have some floating mystic codes prepared, we simply no longer have enough magical energy to make use of them. We could never make them last long enough for the storm border to reach us, and there's no guarantee that we wouldn't end up hurtling to our deaths.
I'm afraid I don't have much magical energy remaining either. But there may still be something I can do.
It's not sacrifice yourself, is it?
Adele, Macarios, I'm going to use the last of my magical energy to provide the children of Chaldea with a defensive bounded field and a floating spell. Well, I would be very grateful if you'd help me. Whether you do so or not is entirely up to you.
Oh, but that means you'll be left behind, right?
Europa? Of course we will, Lady...
Yeah.
Of course we will, Lady Europa.
What Adele said.
Wait, a bounded field and a floating spell would be a huge help.
Oh, boy, stop it, just us.
Can't we all?
Oh, yeah.
Operation God Destroy is complete now. Even the Tree of Emptiness is finally gone from this lost belt. This is our new future. The one we've been dreaming of for a long time.
Right. Today is finally different from yesterday. I'm sure our cells are growing again for the first time in forever. We can finally pick up from where we left off 10,000 years ago. That's all we need. Besides, we're not as weak as you guys, so we can get down from the shrine on our own.
Without the god's protections anymore, will you be able to make it down on your own?
What Macarios said. Even if this lost spell does soon return to its original form, our time is only just beginning. Take care, everyone. Take care, Master Misuga. And thank you for everything. This time we spent together may have gone by in the blink of an eye, but I enjoyed every second of it.
We enjoyed it too. That's exactly why. I don't want to go.
Come on, don't look at us like that. We all accomplished what we set out to do, right? Now I'll admit, there were a number of times when I thought it might be hopeless.
Yeah.
I mean, I could tell from the first time I saw you guys that you weren't bad people. But I thought we might be screwed when it came to the operation.
But you really came through. You gave us the tomorrow we were hoping for. I can feel it right now at this very moment. We're in a different day now than we were yesterday. We're finally growing again. This lost belt may end up disappearing, but even so, I still feel as though anything could happen today. This is what I wanted. What I've long since hoped to feel.
So thanks. I know most Olympians would probably consider you guys and us to be the most evil people ever, but...
Yes, most Olympians may very well think that.
But we don't. Not one bit. And isn't that enough? We'll never forget you guys. Even if this world was never meant to exist. So as long as you guys remember us proudly, that's plenty meaningful right there. We'd much rather you remember us like that than to keep on living aimlessly forever.
Yes, you're right. Thank you both so much for helping us get this far. Fo-fo!
Can't we at least stay together until the end?
That's very sweet of you, Ritsuga. But no, I'm afraid we can't.
Our end's not gonna be the same as yours. Even Krishtaria said so. So don't worry. We're okay going our separate ways here.
I'd like to thank you all as well. Thank you for watching over Lord Zeus's loving heart, and over Olympus's pride. May you all live on, children of Chaldea. Oh, beloved Zeus in heaven, send your winds from the far reaches of humanity to aid these travelers. And may your protection keep them safe from all manner of disaster that may befall them. It worked. We now have a defensive bounded field and a flight spell.
I don't know how I feel. Even if it is power that's being sent from proper human history, Zeus, by way of Europa, I don't know how I feel about getting help from him.
Bye, Mash. Bye, Holmes. Bye, Foe. Bye, Ritsuka. You proper human history humans might be weak, but you were still a great master anyway. You proved that beyond a doubt when you faced off with that other master Zeus himself called a friend and won.
You twins are both amazing too.
Oh, come on, you're lumping us both together like that?
You could at least try to compliment us more individually. We don't really have the time, but I would if I could. Oh.
Fly away, Chaldea. Fly away. And make sure you land somewhere far from here.
Give our best to everyone on the border, and all the other people in the world once you
Save them. We will.
Man, you're amazing, Queen Europa. They're already so high up I can't even see them anymore. You think they'll be okay? I hope they don't get hit by any debris or anything.
Not to worry. The gods will surely protect them. Yes, I have no doubt that all the gods who fell here, and the gods from proper human history, will keep them safe. Indeed. That'd be lovely. Hey, Macarios?
What is it, sister?
Remember how you said we can get down from the shrine on our own?
You weren't very convincing.
Nah, man, I can't believe even you could tell I was lying.
I'm so sorry, you two.
Nah, there's nothing to apologize for, Your Majesty. We wanted them to take to the sky, and they did. That's all we need. Proper human history, huh? They never did tell us much about it. I wonder what it's like.
It must be a wonderful world if it managed to produce people like them.
Well, it could be better, but
Yeah, definitely. Then we really did do the right thing. This has gotta be what's best for Olympus.
Curios.
I'm not regretting this. I have been dreaming of this day since forever. This is exactly what we wanted. Now everything's gonna go
back to how it should be.
Don't do this, Macarios.
I'm sorry, sister, but I've gotta say this. You know what?
What?
Don't get me wrong. I really do think this was for the best. I'm not just saying that, I really mean it. It's why I've been able to keep fighting for so long. But all that said,
You don't want to die?
all that said, I know we've killed all the gods and betrayed all the other Olympians, but if there was a chance, even a tiny 1 in a billion possibility of having just one wish granted,
Macarios.
I don't even know who could possibly grant it now that all the gods are gone, but there's a tiny, tiny part of me that feels like if somehow I could have one wish granted, then just once I wish I could have seen beyond tomorrow. And especially, I wish I could have seen what you were like when you were all grown up.
Oh, silly. You didn't have to tell me that. I've always felt the same way.
Man! Fuck you, man! Maybe the proper human history gods will pool their power together and save them. No, probably not. No, probably not. Like, I'm sure if all the proper human history gods put their power together, they could, you know, be able to save 2 lost belt humans. Maybe, right? Maybe, surely. But they probably could.
Alright, Canis, one last battle.
I can see everyone's spirit origins. It looks like they're floating, but I'll go ahead and guide them to the deck. Mounier, switch the border over to thruster mode. Maintain airborne altitude until Ritsuko's team is safely inside the ship. Roger that. No problemo. Alright, let's see where the thruster controls are again. I thought I told them to wait at the altar. Why'd they have to go to the extra risk of using flying magecraft? Well, nothing to be done for it now. Open the deck hatch.
Well, all our paths were getting crumbled around us, Gordolf.
As soon as we've collected the field team, we're getting out of this airspace faster than you can say skedaddle.
Yeah, sorry. I'm afraid I have an emergency report to make before we get to that. A powerful spirit origin signal is headed towards us from the Dodona Palace. It will reach the ship in 10, 9, 8.
So we're still out of the woods? What in the world do we have to deal with now?
Canis. We actually managed to make it back. I almost can't believe it.
Right, though it looks like Europa's defensive bounded field is gone now.
Indeed, it was an absolutely perfect spell while it lasted. No question as to why she was the Queen of the Gods. If not for her delicate magecraft, I rather doubt we could have flown this far in safety.
What are you just standing around for? Get in the hatch already.
Shouldn't we stay up here to fight the spirit origin that's incoming?
There's an unidentified spirit origin headed your way right now. It'll be there in 3, 2, 1.
Ah! Hi, Final Form, Canis.
Hey there. See, you punks really did make it out of there alive. Good. Wouldn't be any fun otherwise. But weaseling out of tight spots is one of the things you lot do best, right? Knew flying here was the right choice.
I'll be honest, I like her second ascension, because I assume the one we normally see her in is her second ascension. I like that one more, to be honest. I don't know, I don't really like the gold. Like, if her armor pieces were, like, silver instead of gold, I think I'd like it more, but... In a modern narrative, it would lead to old moral quandary of distributive justice. If gods save 2 lost about humans, why not are there any lost about humans people? Yeah. Yeah, I guess. But still, I don't know. It's just one of those things, you know. It's like it's just sad, man. Plus, I mean, yeah, don't they deserve a reward? Oh.
Yeah, but weaseling out of tight spots is one of the things you lot do best, right? Knew flying here was the right choice. So where are the twins in Europa? Aha, so they're dead. Hey, that figures. No point in saving their lives now, right? So you went around pulling all the shit you wanted and decided to scram before it got real, huh? I like that. Hell of a lot less cleanup that way.
Are you trying to provoke us? It feels like you're trying to provoke us.
Only problem is, you assholes got no business being the only ones to make it out of this scot-free. Don't you think, Chaldea?
Canis.
Canis. As in Canis the Divine Spirit. So she managed to survive too. Well, that's just grand.
Gordolf, I don't think she's here to join up with us, buddy. I mean, hey, maybe if we beat her, maybe, but you know.
Oh, she's grand.
Go ahead and invite her to celebrate this victory with.
Hold on, are you sure that's really Canis? The spirit origin pattern doesn't match the one in our records at all. Well, Canis did have some divinity mixed in previously. Now there's divine aura emanating out of the spirit origins every pore. It's almost like a purely divine spirit.
That's precisely it, Gordolf. I don't know how this happened. Canis, as she appears now, is quite clearly a god in her own right. In fact, at this moment, it would be no exaggeration to call her a direct proxy of the sea god himself. Keep the hatch closed for now, Gordolf. There's about to be a battle up here.
Huh? But why? Our battle here is over.
She's like, shut the hell up.
Shut up. You should have hung up on mustache a while ago, detective. Perceptive as always, though, I'll give you that. But we don't need a peanut gallery getting in our way during our fight to the death.
Canis, there's no reason to fight us anymore.
You're Mash, you're insulting her. Him. Whatever.
You've already lost your master, and any reason you may have had to protect this lost belt.
Yeah, she lost her master, but... or his... whatever. But he's carrying on Kristaria's will, I guess. Prove he wasn't weaker than you.
And despite all that, you still want to fight us?
You done? So now we know what your servant thinks, Ritsuka. How about you? Got anything to say?
Only this. You're not going to back down, are you?
Hell no. This unfinished business ain't gonna finish itself. You punks brought down frickin' Olympus. That's huge. I couldn't ask for more worthy opponents. And hey, I might not be your typical Greek heroic spirit, but it's still what I am. And if there's one thing we all know Greek heroes are about, it's revenge, ain't it?
Yeah. It sounds almost farcical hearing that from you, Canis, given how much you despised Olympus. But I can't deny that your will to fight, your drive, and your spirit are more united than ever before. This must be your final destination, the one you failed to reach in your lifetime. It seems you finally arrived at your answer, Canis. Then as such, we are obligated to respond accordingly, even if this battle is entirely unnecessary.
Indeed.
Ritsuka, I'm aware your magical energy has also reached its limits, but can you still do this?
You know it. Let's go, Canis.
Well, look at you. A goddamn weakling of a master glaring at me like you actually know your shit. Fine then, let's go. When we're done, all that's left of you and your servants will be dangling from my spear. One last thing. Remember my name. I am the one who made Poseidon pay for violating me, and took his place as a god in recompense. I am the foolish king who lost himself to the vices of killing, violence, anger, and pride. But right now, all that I do for my contracted master. I am Canis, the Divine Spirit. And I am the only servant who Kristaria Wodheim truly trusted.
I'll be honest, I don't hate that this fight exists. I'm saddened that she didn't choose to, like, just join us of her own accord. And that the Chaldea Canis is a completely different summon. But, or at least, who knows? Maybe we won't kill her at the end of this, but I doubt it. I dislike Canis in general, to be honest. Oh. I actually quite like her. Him. Like, whatever.
There. Masher.
60% of her characters was shouting about how strong and important she is. 30% of this are being angry at random nonsense. I mean, I guess, but now. Yeah, I assume, because again, I only have 1 more hour, but it seems like I'll be done by then. I didn't think I would be though, because there were what 4 or 5 more sections when I started today. So like I kind of assumed I wouldn't finish, but yeah, it seems like it's not the case.
一時のものでないことをこの俺に示せるか。アーマードマッシュ行きます。
Poseidon's blessing true. Conceptual armament Aegis true. Low chance to decrease single enemy's HP recovery amount and immune to immobilization, NP seal, and skill seal. During attacks. Okay. Agent of the Sea God. Low chance to remove a single enemy's defense buff during attacks. And then resistance to all attacks and decreased day. Okay. Oh good, they gave me a full full attack of Draco. Yeah, tank those hits, Smash. Tank those hits. Shrimp Draco. Yeah, she does kind of look like a shrimp. True. Alright, you know what, Holmes? Go back. I'd rather have a saber up front.
You
know what? Mash, keep tanking. Noish. Oh, gal, that hurt. Well, that's just rude of you, Canis. How dare you? How heckin' dare? What did we ever do? Oh, right, we got our NP lowered, which is mildly annoying. Ooh, nice crit. I don't think this will work, but may as well try it. Yeah. Draco can maybe tank it.
力
Maybe.
高く高くもっと星々の海へも俺は届くだろうラピュタイカイリス
Okay.
つりゃつりゃ
ごめんなさい先
Well, I
輩
just smash you. Alright, I forgot to call you out for bringing Bazit everywhere except yesterday. Well, you didn't bring the scene, doesn't get shit worse, Service Clock Iron Mage. Yeah. I guess I guess I probably. Yeah, that would have made sense to bring her, I guess, but I don't know. I ended up focusing on just bringing writers for whatever reason. Okay.
Yurus. Mad.
That invincible is annoying. Sherlock has ignore invincibility on NP. Yeah, but he has nothing to gain NP with. I guess I could command seal or spell. Nah, we'll just do this the old-fashioned way. Well, but you know what? Sure. Actually, no. We'll do it the old-fashioned way.
さらをもそういうのもありよね毒にはいらんとせい
And there goes Draco.
極まる
Ow. Good. Ibuki also has ignore invincible, I do believe.
オッケーは
Yeah.
いいんじゃない
Come on.
人知の及ば
I
ぬ
mean, she's
ものが
AoE,
世
so
に
it
あ
won't
る
do too
と
much,
ここにて思え
but
真剣
better than getting no damage up.
とごめんなさいね風炎そしてイカズチ
Right, I forgot the ignore invincible applied to the rest of her turn too. And that it wasn't just for the Noble Phantasm. So that actually worked out quite well. Alright, we're down to,
捕らえた
less than ideal
いただくわ
circumstances. Nice. Perfect. Oh.
常に別の可能性よ構わない
黙りなさい
Yeah, get him. Get him, Holmes.
我が武勇武器によらずつりゃ
Guts on guts? What kind of bullshit is that? What? Oh, so I'm going to assume this guts is like a half health one, which means we're probably in a really bad spot. Hmm.
構わ
黙
ない
りなさい
賢明な判断なるほど
死になさい
面白い
Hmm.
我が肉体無敵なつ
Yeah, you don't seem very invincible. Ow. Rude.
始めよ
Hmm.
捕らえたわ
Elementary, my dear. And then Carmilla.
いいわよ
う 初歩的なことだ友よ。エレメンタリーマイディア。
Crit? Nice. Crit? Nice. Okay. Ouch.
こいつで
That hurt. Could have been worse though. Again, I don't think this is gonna work, but yep, didn't think so.
常に別の可能性を。構わない賢明な判断だ。
Yeah, we're getting squad wiped.
面白い。実に興味深い。
Rip.
高くもっと星々の海へ俺は届くだろう。
Rest in pepperoni.
やはり。
Alright, this is probably like the last battle of the entire thing, so she used the command spells. No reason really not to.
金を持って酒を持つ。
そうか
毒にはいらん。うまいか。
Yeah, let the guts pop. Boom. Yeah, half health.
我が肉体無敵つりゃ
And then we'll just overcharge. Straight go to hell.
見せてやろう。黄金の使い道を。以前のようにはいきませんが。
Actually, reverse
覚えて
those.
直し。
始めるとしよ
引きずり抱える欲望を
Full
見せ
arts
てや
chain
ろう。
of noble phantasms.
凍結展開。これは多くの道。多くの願いを受けた幻想の城。こうせよ。モールだ。キャメロット。
Ah, yeah, elementary, my
初歩
dear,
的なことだ
elementary. Yes.
友よ。エレメンタリ
Oh,
ー
Canis, if only you had decided to be our friend after all this. But you had to be a stubborn.
地に富を築き
Mule
天に届かんとする者。その願いに応えてやろう。この
But it's
ベイガロンドム
fine.
スアウレアでな。
You did what you did for your master. Oh, you lived. Ah. Stubborn to the end, eh? Stubborn to the end.
装填します。毒にはいらん。目障り。ああ。
Yeah, you are pretty beat up.
ちくしょうやるじゃねえかなあガルデア
状況終了。
And yeah, she's
排
dead.
熱。そして
I
充
had
電に移行しますね。
hoped,
マスター。
you know, vainly that maybe we wouldn't finish her off fully. But yeah, no, I don't think that's happening. I think she did. She did as hell. Oh, flashback.
Damn, so you want to bring every human up to the gods level, huh? That explains a hell of a lot, Kashtaria. No wonder you're so desperate to get things moving. I don't know what the hell you did to yourself, but it's pretty clear you could drop dead any second. But if this plan of yours works, you'll be set for a nice long life. Typical human thinking.
Ah, my apologies. I clearly didn't explain myself well. My plan is to make every human besides myself into gods. So this revolution won't include me. Even if my plan works flawlessly, I'll still be an ordinary human.
Huh?
What, huh? Well, you might say it is similar to how a doctor can treat anyone except himself. This revolutionary rain of meteors I'm envisioning requires a central spellcaster to work. One can't turn both the central axle and the world that turns around it at the same time. Really, if I'm being completely honest, my plan isn't entirely foolproof. But when I shared it with Atlas, warts and all, he also reluctantly agreed to it. That being said, I have no intention of dying anytime soon. I plan to keep on living for as long as I'm able. Besides, if my plan goes well, then it will be everyone else's turn to shine. And
who knows? I may end up living for quite some time yet, since I plan on taking it nice and easy in my retirement.
What the hell?
He's gotta be shitting me.
He wants to make everyone else in the world ascend to the next plane of existence at the cost of him becoming the only relic of the past? After all the hard work he's putting into making a new world, he's gonna be the only one left behind? No freaking way. I don't believe it.
He's doing what the kid did. Saving others at the cost of himself.
I don't even want to think about it. That's not just cruel, it's goddamn brutal. But he talks about it like it's the most natural thing in the world. He sounded so excited about it, like he couldn't wait for this new, better version of humanity to arrive.
Your twisted nature couldn't be more plain, Canis. Both your heart and your mind are warped beyond redemption. Even becoming a god has done nothing to fix that.
You were never anything more than a recipient of the sea god's love.
How could you possibly begin to match us?
You never even understood Lord Kishtaria's vision for bringing about a new age of gods.
I think she understood it better than you ever did.
All you ever did was flail about in anger, curse the gods, and think of nothing but yourself.
I don't know about that.
They were right. That sums up my whole life right there. That's why I could never get behind his goddamn plan. Not really. I never once thought it was a good idea. Shit, the idea of a world where everyone's a god sounds like my own personal hell on earth.
And I told him as much.
But all that aside, he still lived a life I can't even imagine. He had a dream so huge and stupid nobody else would even think about
Trying to make it reality.
Seriously, how messed up is it that he got me, of all people, to want to support someone? And not just anyone, a stuck-up world is my oyster type like him. Crap, no wonder these Chaldea dipshits beat me. The second that happened, my fate was sealed. Ha. Well, this is pathetic. Can't believe I picked a fight, then went and lost it. But you know, it's okay. At least I got to go out swinging. This'll tie a nice little bow on my stupid summoning. Now I don't have to worry about you punks or him anymore. Alright, assholes. This is where I'm getting off. See y'all in hell. On second thought, guess you won't be going to our hell, huh, Ritsuka? Well, whatever. Point is, I'll be waiting for you on the other side. Make sure you stop by once you're all done with everything here. I'll have a few words of praise for you about how you pulled off a hell of a thing. Especially for a human.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wonder if that implies that Canis thinks Ritsuka will end up in the Throne of Heroes, or... If someone Canis after beating Olympus or someone has his part, nice to meet you. Oh, it's you. So I was gonna say that's weird, but I guess not really. Because she is a divine spirit. So... And we know divine spirits tend to be able to retain memories better. Or not retain memories better, but bring more of their memories from the throne with them, I guess, on subsequent summons. Half the servants have geo-retained memories. Yeah. Not the ones we wish would, though.
Because, like, most of the early Singularity servants don't remember. Like, they've read the data, like, in their interludes. Some of them imply they've, like, seen the data about their Singularity selves, but, like, they don't actually recall it at all. Which sucks. But... we have confirmed. Canis is gone. This lost remaining threat has now been completely neutralized. Canis was a really, really strong servant. Oh! You know someone who I summoned who actually had a line that, was the opposite of that? They had a special line because we hadn't met them yet? Doesn't Bavan Shi have a line? I'm pretty sure I remember she was like, "You don't know who I am, do you?" And she like laughed. Or maybe it wasn't Bavan Shi, but someone had a line where they were like, "You don't know who we are, do you?" Canis was a really, really strong servant. I don't remember if it was both. Someone had a line like that. I don't remember who it was, though.
Oh, man. You know we're back online now, right?
Well, we are? Damn it, Spinach. Why didn't you say so sooner? You've got to communicate.
The funny ones are, hi, you summon me before my chapter and all happens there, but if you summon them after the chapter, I don't know you, why do you know me? That's weird, because if they... somehow remember you from the... Huh. This one specific servant who explicitly has backwards lines, but I think they're in JP.
Well, we are. Damn it, Spinach.
Do you even have Bob? Yeah, I do. I've used her on stream before.
Damn it, Spinach. Why didn't you say so sooner? You got to communicate. Testing. I trust you all can all hear me. Once I open the hatch, which I'm about to do in a moment, I want you all to get inside the board. I double quick. As soon as you've confirmed your safe return, we're getting out of the airspace immediately. You can make your report to me after you've had a good long rest. However, there's just one thing I'd like to say first. Well done, Ritsuka. Well done, MASH. Well done, Administrative Advisor. Now that you have returned, I am officially marking the following mission complete. Order Lost Belt number 5 and its suborder, those who cross the Sea of Stars. I dare say your performance deserves full marks across the board. And I advise you all to look forward to your next bonus, for I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Do you even have money to pay us? Maybe he's talking about food. Maybe he's gonna cook for us. Come on, MASH, let's go home.
Right. Congratulations on a job well done, Master.
Oh, goodbye, Adele. Goodbye, Macarios. I hope you have a fun afterlife. Assuming Lost Belt humans get to go to an afterlife. But that's actually hard to say, given that their underworld is probably part of their Lost Belt, so...
Yeah, probably not.
Kalia does have a QP-based economy. Yeah, but like, once proper human history is restored, all that QP will be worthless, though. Like, yeah, we can use it for, like, the internal economy, but like... what are we gonna get a bonus after proper human history is restored with actual money, or... you know. Journey continues. I got 35 minutes. So hopefully we can get through. Back to the beginning.
Guess I can't just keep gazing at the sky forever. Now that it looks like the tree of emptiness is gone, it's only a matter of time before Olympus disappears. I suppose I should be glad that this whole frontier area didn't fall apart the moment Zeus died. Alrighty, I'd better get a move on before the ground here starts to collapse. At least I don't have to wonder where to go next. Well, I do wish I could go with David in South America. There's still something I still have to take care of first. I'm not usually one for revenge. But I'll make an exception for you, Barrel Gut.
Yeah, I guess... we wouldn't be super happy with, or I guess Pepe wouldn't be super happy with someone who killed a good friend. Moonsol sees QP, so maybe Extra versus Hawk will be willing to trade our QP for something. Maybe. That'd be kind of funny, just a random hole opens in space and it's like, this is a Seraph General Store, what would you like? Just a hole opens in space-time. Screams, shrieks, groans, despair, misery, fury. This is what should have been heard all across Olympus, the supposed utopia of the gods. I was so looking forward to basking in them, to feeling joy and sorrow with my entire being as I laughed at the humans collapsing into tears. I was all set to point and laugh, to mock these humans as they succumbed to despair. But I never expected to encounter someone who could use Rojinsu in such a manner. Oh? Beautiful carnivore.
He.
I can feel my entrails waking up from their slumber. It's been a long time indeed since I last made use of my true body. I must admit I am most vexed with myself. I never imagined one could break my life extension in that way. But no, never mind that for now. Yes, right now. I believe a moment of silence for the mechanical gods who flew here from a distant realm is in order. Imagine. To think the end of the gods' pets would come like this. The gods must be proud indeed, knowing they kept these pets around for 10,000 years for this. Ah, what a truly dreadful thought. Academia, art, did those so-called legacies amount to anything whatsoever? They gave their pets eternal life and even limited their value. And in the end, they were done in by rogues they utterly failed to control. A mere two specimens of humanity, larvae left over from the Olympia Machia who went and betrayed their keepers. And now that Chaldea and company have had their way with them, not a trace remains. What else could one call this but a glorious farce? I come not to bury the gods, but praise them. Rest assured, this alter ego will never forget these old ones' final moments nor their death throes. Indeed, now that I've witnessed this beautiful sight, I can scarcely restrain myself any longer. Yes, next time, I, Arshia Doman, shall entertain the god-slaying master in my true domain. The bowels of hell itself. Okay, I'd rather not. I'd rather not go anywhere near hell itself, personally speaking. Maybe that's just me. But I don't feel too happy about that.
Zero sail systems are all green. Magical reactors are operating in parallel. Hull damage minimal. In that case, there won't be any need for us to do a rush dive. We'll be able to begin a standard one before this lost belt disappears. Mounier, would you mind giving me a hand? You got it, Captain. No, wait, forget just giving you a hand. You only just got back on your feet, so you should still be taking it easy for a while. Just sit back and let me handle things for now. Solid as a seashell. No, now go take a seat in the co-pilot's chair and don't forget your seatbelt. Roger that. Solid as a seashell? Dimension-piercing battleship Stormboarder. Preparing for deployment. Setting a return course to the Wandering Sea. All hands, I'll do my best to keep the ship steady, but stay alert just in case.
Aye aye, Captain.
I can't hear you.
I said aye aye, Captain! Oh, who lives in a submarine under the storm wall? Gordolf music pants. I don't know.
You know, now that I think about it, we've really got our work cut out for us, don't we? Getting through Atlantis and Olympus was a huge ordeal. And fortunately, the Atlantic Lost Belt's Tree of Emptiness is technically gone now. But its branches covering Earth's stratosphere haven't gone anywhere. The foreign god made her descent. And if that wasn't bad enough, she manifested with the spirit origin of Beast 7, one of the evils of humanity. At one point, the foreign god was one step away from wiping out all of Olympus and taking you guys with it. But a massive burst of magical energy fired at her from the palace put a stop to that. That seems to have done some damage to her from the looks of it, since she responded by pulling in two of the alter egos Rasputin and Senji Muramasa, and disappearing. At the moment, not even the border sensors can determine where they might have gone. Just as well, really, seeing how we wouldn't have a snowball's chance in hell if she tried to attack us now.
Yeah, probably, definitely not, actually. I was gonna say probably, but definitely, definitely not.
Anyway, the big problem is now the foreign god's name and what she looks like.
You, Olga Marie.
Yes, I recognize that face in the database. That was definitely Olga Marie Atmosphere. But how? She was killed right after the bombing of Chaldea that began the incineration of humanity. What in the world is going on here? Don't tell me this means Chaldea was behind everything after all.
No.
Did I really make a once-in-a-lifetime bet on an organization that's trying to wipe out all of humanity?
No. We're not sure about that either.
Was that really Director Olga Marie? A fair question. Given both yours and hers reactions, it seems safe to say there are strong similarities. But there are also too many clear differences to say they are the same person. First, we know that the foreign god manifested in a spitting image of Olga Marie, and that she also claimed the former director's name as her own. The second, her spirit origin was far from human. She's neither heroic spirit nor servant. The foreign god manifested as a beast. Third, she did not know who you were, and she also seemed unfamiliar with Earth culture and language. Taking all this into account, it would seem Beast 7 shares many similarities with Beast 1, GACHA, and the way he manifested using King Solomon's body.
Then the foreign god is using Olga Marie's Atmosphere's body in the same way? The body of the daughter of the Atmosphere family, which was formerly among the lords of the Clock Tower. This is a disaster. A highly talented mage's body used as a vessel. Then, if I'd happened to be there, that means the foreign god would have looked like me.
Oh. Yeah, sure, buddy. I mean, maybe. Maybe, yeah, if you had been the director at the time and had been the one to die and maybe. Maybe.
Calm down, Gordolf. I do understand the terror of the unknown. But remember, we do know a great deal about what sort of person Olga Marie Atmosphere was. Well, we may not know yet what it is. We can assume there's a reason why the foreign god chose to resemble her. Fortunately, all the Animosphere's data was also brought along to Chaldea base. So I'll start going over it once we've returned to the Wandering Sea. I have no doubt we'll find some manner of clue in there that will help us lead us to the truth.
I see. You're certainly taking all this in stride, Administrative Advisor. Actually, I just had a thought. According to the report I just received, it looks like one effect of your being struck by Zeus's lightning was a reduction in brain power. So how are you doing now? Are you back to your old self yet, or are you still something of a moron?
Foron? Not to worry, Godolph. My brain power is very nearly fully recovered. Though I will say, seeing what it's like to voice and act upon my thoughts immediately has been a most level and informative experience. Never mind that now, Holmes. You've been pushing yourself way too hard for way too long. That's right. I know all about how you've been using your noble phantasm this whole time to come up with ways out of all the jams you guys kept finding yourselves in. Oh. How are you not out of magical energy? I know we've got stuff to talk about, but it can wait until after you've gotten your ass into the recovery pod. That goes for talking to Caddick in the infirmary, too. Oh, you saved Caddick! Oh. It can all wait until everyone's recovered. Wait, did you just say Caddick? Caddick? Oh, what are you talking about? Do you mean Caddick's on the storm border right now? I mean, again, I knew he lived because of the roadmap thingy. But I thought we would have... okay. I was actually kind of waiting for us to, like, stumble upon him as we were running through the, Cronus Crown, or Dodona, whatever. Olympia Dodona, but we never did, so I was like, oh, I guess he'll wind up with us some other way. But no, I guess they saved him already. And he's in the infirmary?
You're right. It completely slipped my mind. We have Caddick in custody right now. It was right before we were about to make our way up to the altar.
Oh, don't worry, you've nothing to fear from me. I'm not carrying any NFF Services weapons this time. I simply have a delivery for you.
You stole him from us once, now you're giving him back?
This delivery is not from me as a disciple of the foreign god. Rather, it is from Rasputin. Or at least, what remains of his heroic spirit within me.
Take care of Caddick for me, would you?
Yeah, I figured that's what she was... what her, request was.
That mischievous Grand Duchess was more worried about someone else's future than her own safety. So rather than letting him die, I thought I should at least give him a fighting chance. But do let him know this was a one-time only occurrence. I won't be lifting a finger to help him again, not even if I should happen to see wild dogs eating him alive.
And just like that, he dropped Caddick right where he stood and left him. He was covered in blood and obviously in critical condition, so we got him to the infirmary right away.
But by the time we got out there to collect him, Rasputin was already gone. And that said, Caddick is still in a coma. We're not sure what will happen next with him. According to Nemo Nurse's diagnosis, we'll need to keep him in the recovery pod for several months. But once he is fully recovered, mark my words, I'll be grilling him for every bit of info he's got.
Well, don't forget, Caddick's not the only one who needs to rest, Gordy. We could all use a good long break.
Yeah, that's very true. Between Atlantis and Olympus, we have completed our largest and most trying operation to date. Well, we may indeed have our work cut out for us. I think we've more than earned the right to take some time to relax and recover.
You said it. Okay, Reed Scanmash. I'd like to say a little something too. Congratulations on resolving the 5th lost spell. Like we said, we definitely still have our work cut out for us. But you don't have to worry about that yet. Right now, your only job is to get some rest. We can talk turkey over what comes next once Holmes is back to his old self. Alright, that's all for me for now. Great work, you two. You did awesome.
Thanks, Da Vinci. You too. You did your best.
Senpai? Can I talk to you for just a little bit?
Sure. What's up?
Thank you, Senpai. I was just wondering something. What do you make of the foreign god? Of you, Olga Marie? I know Holmes thinks she's an imposter who only looks like director Olga Marie, but I can't help but think...
It was totally her.
Right? I don't have anything concrete I can point to explain it, but I felt the same way. There's just something about you, Olga Marie, that tells me she's the same Olga Marie we knew.
Maybe she's missing memories, and that's why she didn't know who we were, but knew who Chaldea was. Yeah, and that makes us an even bigger concern.
What do you mean?
Well... now we've got to figure out how we're going to save her. Not defeat her, save her, huh?
Right. That's exactly right, Master.
I mean, we did agonize over the fact we couldn't save her the first time when she got burned to a crisp. Oh no, she got... What did Lev Liner say was gonna happen to her when she got sucked in? It was just burning, right? I feel like I remember something about crushing. Yeah, pulled apart by a black hole. I knew it wasn't just burning, but I couldn't remember what it was exactly.
I know we still have a lot of thinking to do about what we can do and what we should do. But if our goal is to save her rather than defeat her, I'm more than willing to fight.
Oh? Never thought I'd end up back here. Guess even a servant life's full of surprises. So what happened to the foreign god? How come she locked herself up in the workshop as soon as we got here? I guess she's using Clarinomia to put herself back together? She sure settled down quick for all that heavy breathing she was doing. What's the deal? She having second thoughts after one of the Earthlings she treated like fleas managed to cut her? Try to be understanding. She couldn't help but be surprised when something she considered merely part of the scenery decided to attack her. If a pebble laying on the ground jumped up and slashed at you out of nowhere, wouldn't you be shocked too? Suppose so. Hell, I'd lose my shit if the eggplant I was having for breakfast suddenly came at me with a sledgehammer. Yeah. Guess it's a lot like how some people are scared of bees. So what? This Minkashtaria's serious light thing actually... of course it didn't actually hurt the foreign god. Why, it didn't even come close to breaking her skin. But the fact that there were beings willing to attack her at all has made her to stop and rethink her approach. She's currently using this terminal to review human history, even if she doesn't seem very happy about it. You know, in a sense, Kashtaria saved our lives as well. Thanks to him, the foreign god is now willing to let us stay on as her disciples. Never mind that we've lost contact with Limbo for the moment. Huh? Isn't the foreign god supposed to be all-powerful or some such? What would she still be needing us for? I'm getting to that. You see, there are two surprising things the foreign god learned from these events. The fact that there are insects on this world willing to attack her, reckless and meaningless as their attempts may be, and that there exists a lance of light capable of burning down even the tree of emptiness. Oh my goodness! Sorry, I keep getting messaged over and over and over and over again. Okay. She'd like you to go investigate the ladder. And destroy it, of course. And she says she'll teleport you there as soon as she's ready. That's so? Well, it can't be any worse than here. No telling when this place will end up. Well, this place will up and disappear anyway. So how about you? You gonna stay here as her escort? No, I'll be heading out shortly myself. The foreign god desires a more durable vessel than the one she has now. So she's sending me out to procure one. Isn't she plenty strong as she is? Hell, it's not even possible to make a stronger spirit origin anywhere on Earth, right? So where are you gonna find one better than what she's already got? Not worry. I already have just a place in mind. The moon? Question mark? You see, the machine gods of Atlantis aren't the only foreign beings who made their way to this planet in ages long past. The moon? There is a golden sea of trees in the belly of the underworld, known as Zabulba, that is home to an enormous beast. Oh, never mind. It slumbers in a world where Alaya is stable, and wriggles to life in a world where Gaia shows itself. I speak, of course, of an ultimate one, a being who came here from the Oort Cloud. The what? The what cloud? The fart cloud? The interdimensional fart cloud? I don't want to go there. Sign me not up. Sign me out.
Hey, you up now?
Oh, okay. Sorry, when I think... Yeah, okay, no. Sorry, I just think of them as angels. I forgot, yeah. No, I forgot they were referred to as ultimate ones.
Oh, good you are. There's something you ought to see. I went back and forth on whether to bring this to you, but ultimately I thought you deserved to see it. Sorry to spring this on you when you're still tired, but I didn't think it could wait.
So, what is it I ought to see?
A video file from the God Destroyer Alliance base.
What? What is it?
Huh. According to the timestamp, it was recorded after you guys took the meter out. We're not sure exactly when it was sent, but it looks like it was right before you guys left for the Great Orbital Shrine.
Well, that's a reaction I hoped for.
I mean...
There's been so many crossovers and references at this point that I had already kind of figured notes would show up eventually. Like, I don't know. It didn't seem all that crazy to me, I'll be honest. Plus, there was a notes reference in Last Encore. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised they're starting to mix in notes lore. So I mean, plus the Black Barrel itself is already... It's less about being a reference and more about dealing with an ultimate one. Again, we've had to deal with BB, Kiara from Extraverse, Arquid and CL here soon. It's again, I'm not. Yeah, like at this point, we've dealt with creation goddesses and various creatures. I don't know.
It was right before you guys left for the Great Orbital Shrine. I don't know how they pulled it off, but the file's in the exact same format we use at Chaldea. Man, Olympian tech never ceases to impress me.
I put this Wiki reference to thing that since 2006 was hyped up as secret boss stronger than final boss. Yeah.
Anyway, I already sent the file over to your personal terminal. We already watched it ourselves, but I'm not gonna demand you do the same. Whether you do or not, it's totally up to you. Though I will say that Gordolf decided to designate them as MIA after watching it himself. He said something along the lines of, "We can't confirm their deaths, so who's to say they won't come back to us again someday?"
I mean, it's a nice thought, but... I don't think so. But hey, maybe. It was also a thing that was hyped up as something that one-shot a dead apostle ancestor without even waking up. I don't remember that line.
We can't confirm their deaths, so who's to say they won't come back to us again someday? Like director, like field team, I guess. But hey, who am I to judge? We could all stand to get a little sentimental now and then. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say for now. Later.
Alright, let's do this video file.
Good. The camera's working fine. Testing. Good. No problems with audio either. Alright, I'm all set to record. Now I just gotta make sure no one sees me. Not that I want to cause any infighting, but every organization needs to perform an internal review sometimes.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that. I remember an ORT on the DAA list, but here it was OORT. Wait, that was the previous node, so. So I was like, maybe that's a coincidence. It was an OG Tsukihime. Yeah. I guess that was one of the ones that got or cause an IRL thing, but in JP there's no difference between the spellings. That would make sense. What's the name of the cloud of comet dust surrounding the solar system? Oh, okay.
And though the God Destroyer Alliance might not have many members, it's still an organization. Yeah, I need to get a move on because I literally have like 8 minutes. We should know how everyone really feels. I don't like the idea of surreptitiously filming them. But then again, Edison said it was perfectly normal. Anyway, this will only be for reference, nothing more. Kyrios, where are you? I could have sworn he was around here. Maybe he's in a private room? Ugh. What's up, Adele? Something the matter?
Oh, Musashi.
I wanted to ask Kyrios to help me with something. I can't find him anywhere. Gotcha. Maybe I could help instead. I appreciate the offer, but that's okay. You see, I wanted to ask him to fine-tune your and Mash's clarinomia.
Right, yeah, I probably couldn't be much help with that. Not exactly my area of expertise.
Well, I wouldn't say Makarios and I are experts either.
Maybe not, but how many years have you guys been fiddling with that stuff? Yeah, you guys know better than we do.
1,000 or so.
Oh, right, I guess in other worlds that would make us experts, huh? You can say that again.
I see your point.
There you are, sister. Hey, Musashi.
Oh, good. Listen, Makarios.
You want me to fine-tune the clarinomia, right? I'll take care of it. Gotta make sure there won't be any after effects and such after all. Anyway, on a different subject, can I ask you two something?
Oh, what is it?
Well, I was just wondering what you think of the Chaldeans.
What do you mean? They're our comrades in arms. They've been invaluable to our alliance.
How about you, Musashi?
Good question. Maybe travel companions? No, it's not quite right. I honestly don't know much about Holmes. I've barely even talked to any of the other staff either.
But I do love Ritsuka.
And Mash too, of course.
Really, I just love them both to bits. Oh my!
At first, I didn't really know anyone besides Ritsuka. And my first impression of Mash was basically just that she seemed really earnest. But then once I saw how she fought, I got it. The whole reason Ritsuka's able to live the way she does is because she's been with her all this time. Once I figured that out, well, I just fell in love with Mash. Now I can't help but smile whenever I see her and Ritsuka doing their best together.
She's... Musashi is shipping us?
That's so touching. I just love that sort of thing.
You think? I don't really get the appeal myself. Anyway, next question. Are there any requests you'd like to make of them? Maybe something you feel like they could be doing better?
Huh? What kind of question's that?
We doing some kind of performance review thing? Of course not. I'm just making conversation. I wasn't asking for any particular reason. Nope. Right. Definitely not recording this for exactly that purpose. Nope, not at all.
Oh, really?
Okay, if you say so. Anyway, let's see. She definitely noticed the recording happening. She definitely noticed.
Anyway, let's see. Something I'd like to request from them, huh?
I guess I'd like them to do all the living I won't be able...
Huh? On second thought, just forget that one. Here, let me try again. I think what I'd like to request from them is that they live happy lives.
What kind of answer is that? That's not even a request.
I want them to live as long and as happily together as possible, so that they never have to go through any pain or hardships.
Whoa, too late for that!
That's the one and only request I have for them.
Well, that was... helpful.
Eh? You really do love those two, don't you? Absolutely. Like I said, I love them to pieces. So what about you two? What do you think of Mesh and Ritsuka?
Us?
You're the only other ones here, aren't you?
Well, we definitely couldn't have beaten Demeter without them. In fact, the Alliance never actually managed to destroy a single god until they came along. So...
I like them personally. And I don't just mean as comrades or Alliance members.
Sister!
If we hadn't met them while we were in the middle of fighting a war, I even think we could have been friends.
Well, of course you could. Honestly, I thought you were all already friends.
Aren't you? I'm not sure. I hope so. I could have sworn you were, so...
I've got it. Somebody mark the date, because this gal just had herself a fantastic idea.
Where'd that come from? And what is this idea anyway?
I'm so glad you asked.
Like I said, it's fantastic. My idea is once Operation God Destroyer is well and truly done, we should have a party to celebrate. One with lots of yummy food. Musashi. She's gotta come back. She has to.
You're right, that does sound lovely.
Sure, but that only works if the operation goes off without a hitch. We don't have any casualties and we have enough time to put something like that together. So I'm not sure I'd call it fantastic.
It's gonna go great. We're gonna make it go great.
Yeah, good point. I mean, the plan is for the operation to work out as intended, so why not?
Then I'll have to start thinking of what to make for the occasion. Now what would be good for a party?
Udon. Definitely udon. Eat something else, Musashi! For the rest, we'll have to go around asking everyone else what their favorite foods are.
Oh, and we'll definitely have to get Gordolf to make his special omelets. This party is going to be so much fun. Just you wait.
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be awesome. Fantastic, even. Oh? Yeah, I probably should. Oh! You know what? It'll just claim the video. It's fine. I don't mind if it gets claimed. I can't run ads on yet anyway, so. Man. Why do I get the feeling David's gonna be way more of an issue than BERYL? I don't know why, I get the feeling he's gonna be much more of a problem. Also, I guess that kind of goes without saying, huh? Given that David's the final. Final cryptor. Man. Oh? Yeah, Heian Kyo. Naraka Mandala, Heian Kyo is a fragment depicting the story between clearing Lost Boat number 5, Interstellar Mountain to City Olympus, and the beginning of Lost Boat number 6. You can begin Lost Boat number 6 without clearing Naraka Mandala. We're not gonna do that. Of course, we're gonna do Heian Kyo first. But man, they really had to just twist the knife in there at the end, huh? They should really get it in there. Like, yeah, they like you and want to plan a party for you. Like, oh, frick you, game. Alright, Let me take a look at this. Man, they're all partying it up in the afterlife, huh? At least that's how I like to think it's going, but in reality, it's just showing all the people who helped us. But still, if you're up to date, there was a dot, just a dot between LB5 and LB6 banner that evolved into Heian-kyo when the chapter released. That's what that like little black hole that opened up, I guess, was representing. Alright, let me read the details. Oh, I actually have to go, but I'll read this right quick. Oh, I have a great idea. It's a sport video with no strings attached whatsoever. If our person got destroyed, goes to spoil plan. We'll come out unscathed. Let's hold the bank with plenty of delicious food. Yeah, we saw that. We saw she say that in the video file. Well, victory was achieved. The promise cannot be fulfilled. Yeah, I know, game. This is a record of the past. Dazzling memories that remain within your heart. And yet, if such a future was possible, you humans would surely look at this scene and use it as your strength to rise up. Just like a certain ordinary master who managed to achieve so many impossible things. As he rests inside a coffin of uncertainty in the void. I guess implying that this is the scenery Wodan wanted to see. Is maybe him and the other cryptors having a... like, replace these guys with the other cryptors. Just chilling out, having a party. But unfortunately, they did not come to pass for him or us. Anyway, yeah, I was planning to. I was gonna probably record an interlude tonight and have, like, watch the whatever happens at the end of this, at the end of it. But for now, though, like I said, I really do gotta go. Man, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna put this over Atlantis, but they're both really good. They're both. I think this was stronger for the most part overall, but Atlantis had a equally good, like, ladder, like, 5th. But the overall story of Olympus was a little bit better. So I guess I would put Olympus a little bit ahead. Little bit. Little bit. But anyway, that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I guess I'll have to take down the waiting room I have for tomorrow. Maybe I'll change it to, like Stella or something. I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.